Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today our horsies bring all the boys to the yard and they're like, let's watch MbL playing as the Franks in red take on Hera playing as the Mongols in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Why don't we take a look at this clash of mounted civilizations? To start with the Franks, the OG cavalry civilization harkening back to the last century. Their knights come with extra line of sight, their stables can be upgraded to work much faster, and all of their mounted units get 20% more HP starting in the Feudal Age. Now to support their heavy cavalry on the battlefield against pesky annoying things like halberdiers or maybe even camels, the Franks can turn to their unique unit, the Throwing Axemen, a ranged infantry unit similar to the Malian Gabeto, whose range can be even further increased. Now to help a player mass their unique unit as much as possible in as big a death ball as possible, you do need a lot of castles. So Franks come with a castle discount, 15% cheaper in Castle Age, 25% cheaper in Imperial. Now to help feed a big militaristic population, Frankish foragers do work faster and they get all mill upgrades for free. Pivoting to the top right of our screen, or maybe the center right of our screen, not exactly the top right, we've got the Mongols, another fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Their light cav, their hussars, and their steppe lancers all come with extra HP. And their unique unit is the Mangadai, a fast-firing quick cavalry archer with a attack bonus against siege units. Now to keep up with their super-duper fast army on the battlefield, the Mongols can upgrade all of their siege units to move 50% faster. Now, that is not an upgrade we see frequently, but it is an upgrade that I'm always down to see because it makes their units look, or rather their siege units, look a lot like little bumper cars. Now, to help support their military endeavors out on the map, Mongol hunters do work faster and their houses can actually be upgraded so they don't lose population space if they get destroyed. Those are the two civilizations, fairly similar. One whose scout line units come with extra line of sight, one whose night line units come with extra line of sight, both with food-related bonuses. Two incredibly powerful civilizations in the hands of two incredibly powerful players who, by the way, have just been ripping into each other. There are a lot of fun games coming up between these two. I'm not going to spoil anything, but these two have been clashing essentially non-stop for the last few days. And some of their games that I've casted so far that are coming up, or rather that are going to be released in the very near future, have just been absolutely bonkers. And if you saw the Chinese Malay game from much earlier, I shouldn't say much earlier, a little bit earlier, yeah, you know how bonkers these two players can get. So very high expectations anytime these two meet. And especially, like I said, with these two civilizations, these are some of the most tough, powerful civilizations in the game with access to some of the craziest units in the game. Frankish Paladin, anyone? Mangadai OP, anyone? In any event, both players sitting at 16 villagers. A good time for us to look at their bases and see where they've spawned. Hera, 1, 2, 3 forests in a bit of a bucket shape here. Primary gold nice and secure in the back. Primary stone a little bit exposed off to the side. We'll see if MbL decides to make any issue of that. Generally, stone not exactly a resource you need to really attack into the Mongols very early on in the game. Looks like, by the way, MbL is taking his ostriches before he even got his additional billy goats. Interesting, as they ba-ba, or what does a goat do? I guess a sheep goes ba-ba. I don't know what a goat does. Hey, hey, I don't know. In any event, where are his additional resources for Hera? Gold up at the top. And then an additional gold pile here in the forward position, additional stone off to the back. So he has a few secure resources, but for the most part, this is a pretty open base. He's starting to wall it off as he heads up to Feudal Age. MbL has loom, has 500 food. That 500 food just disappears, so we know exactly what's going to appear here on the top left of our screen. Once the loom icon disappears, it will be, boom, the Roman numeral 2. Base for Hera basically open. I mean, the forward part can be walled off, but the sides need to be walled off as well. The northwest completely open. MbL. Primary gold also nice and secure in the back. Primary stone also nice and secured in the back. And he has what I would say are better placed forests, although they look a little bit more sparse than Hera's. Maybe not with the center one. Looks like MbL taking a bit of a circuitous route here. Thought that Hera might have been in the 5 o'clock position, but he's going to discover very soon. Wait for it. Wait for it. Discovers the lemon bush pickers. As Hera also did the same thing, it kind of looked like. Thought maybe MbL was at the 10 o'clock position, but now both players actually discover each other at the exact same time. Let's see where MbL's additional resources are. He's got a bit of gold stuff to the side, a bit of gold to the front, and then an additional bit of stone here to the side as well. But same as Hera, has 2 medium level wall offs in the forward position here for both of them. That being said, not too sure we'll see a huge amount of wall off as 3 militias take issue with this lion. How much HP? Got a good amount of HP off of some surprisingly 2 militias. Is it the second lion they've run into? Not too sure, but for now, both players pushing into each other. Our Mongol with the scout units. Remember, these scouts don't come with extra HP. It has to be a light cav, a hussar, or a step lancer. Oh, sorry, I think there's an issue with my microphone. I was talking, but I couldn't hear it in my in the ear. Oh my goodness, my in the headphones that I'm wearing. My brain just froze. It looks like there has been a kill on the other side of the map. A villager lies dead. The scout has gotten another villager, so 2 villager kills here for MbL as his militia close in. A third one. Hera is in a bit of a situation here developing. Does manage to finally kill a militia of his opponent, but a 4th villager dies. Okay, so uncharacteristic here by Hera to lose no fewer than 4 villagers. This is a quarter of his workforce all of a sudden. He is down to 20 villagers to 22 of his opponent. Why 22 and not 24? Because it looks like Hera also managed to get a few villager kills. We'll have seen that in picture, and all of a sudden Hera gets the villager, or rather the kill total lead 6-5, and the players just ripping into each other already. I'm not gonna say no to this. Looks like MbL created a bit of a wall off to funnel units through the town center, but the back of his base has been left completely open. Does he really care? He's got a spearman here. He's going to zone out a few of these faster moving horsey units, but skirmishers are already on their way. How many for our Mongol? 1 on the field, 2 more in training, and it looks like MbL is done with his aggression. What does he have? He's got 3 spearmen, which are naturally a very defensive unit, being positioned around his base here, and he's training more and more skirmishers of his own. Let's see if he can get any kind of damage done with these units. Hera pokes in, pokes out to the south. He tried, he made it look like he's running away, but he's not running away. He is staying here, and now he's attacking in 3 different locations. I mean, look at this. I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. We've got skirmishers and a scout to the forward position. We've got scouts running around the back. Oh, well, they get a villager. She is out in the middle of nowhere. Where the hell was she going as 2 more scouts close in on her? But her friends join in. Oh, a little bit too late. Just 1 tap too late. Hera gets another villager kill. Lots and lots of villager kills here. Uncharacteristic again. Now for both players, looks like a scuffle happened here at the top of the map, rather the top of MbL's base. And Hera is not relenting. I am seeing more blue dots moving across the map here as his skirmishers take up position near the town center. So like I said, these 2 players have been playing a good amount of games against each other, and they are just absolute beasts when it comes to this. This has been so much fun to watch these games, and more importantly, to cast these games. We've got a stable being plopped down for our Frank. I'm surprised that just now our cavalry man going with the spearmen, but the spearmen are not going to last very long against these skirmishers, which are now prowling the forward position of his base, maybe moving to the back, maybe try to get a few of these lumberjacks off their wood. Again, skirmishers not going to really kill any of these villagers, but they'll be annoying. They'll, I was going to say F around and find out with the AI of the villagers who instinctively just run away when they're attacked. And MbL says, I've had enough. I'm just going to create a little enclave here, and there's not much that you're going to be able to do with these scouts. At the same time, I'm going to try to zone out your skirmishers with a lot more of my own. Upgrades non-existent for both players. Resources, they are both scraping the barrel here when it comes to resources. None of them banking anything except that our Frank has 188 gold for some reason. okay, so he's been mining gold here with his one villager for the longest time. And now he uses it to train archers so that he can possibly zone out some of these scouts. But it looks like all of a sudden, if you see the minimap, where are the reinforcements for Hera? All of a sudden, they've stopped. So we had a bit of a Feudal Age scuffle, which, again, if you've heard me say this before, I apologize, but I've come around 180 on Feudal Age. I used to think, okay, it's just, you know, one of these things like Dark Age, where it's a necessary evil that you have to get through to get to Castle Age and the more powerful units. But the more I see of these Feudal Age battles, the more I'm impressed, because there's a lot of positioning involved. These are not strong units, but they're not cheap units also. You know, they become cheap. A skirmisher is cheap in Castle Age once you have 70, 80, 90, 100 villagers. When you've got 20 to 30 villagers, or even 34, 37, every resource matters, especially when you're trying to gather 800 food, 200 gold to go up to the next stage. Unless you're the Italians, of course, but every resource matters, and these scuffles are just so much about positioning here. Like this, for example, Hera accidentally, I think, maybe stops and turns around and goes face forward into a bunch of spearmen. Does manage to clean up MbL on the left, but on the right, MbL is cleaning Hera up. And now the armies meet, and now the trickle of blue dots across the minimap resumes. Hera 0 gold, sub 100 food. He is putting on the pressure. I wonder why. These are, I thought he would for sure want to go fast castle just so he could get a bit of a tougher light cavalry unit with a bit more HP on it. 30% more HP compared to the 20% that the Frank would get. Ooh, another scuffle here to the front. Both players, I mean, look at the kill count. 21 to 25, 22 to 25. They're just beating each other. This is just, you know what this is? This is that new game that, or not a game, a sport, I should call it, although it kind of seems like a game. I don't know what it's called. I've seen it. It's very popular in some places where 2 men or 2 women just stand in front of each other and take turns slapping each other. I don't know what the hell it's called. Competitive slapping? But this is exactly what's happening here. Both players just slapping each other. And then I think it's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, go look up some clips on YouTube, because somebody gets slapped and Hera evens up the villager kill. So fantastic there for him. Even though he was down 4 villagers in the beginning, I mean, now he's still down 4 villagers in total, but manages to even up the villager kill count, which is something at least. But what's funny about that slapping game, MbL tries to poke in. Hera has different thoughts about that and absolutely wrecks those scouts. Okay, for the 3rd time, I'm going to try to finish my train of thought. The slapping game is that they're always standing in front of each other, but then when it's their turn to get slapped, there's always like friends and trainers and their entourage that comes with them, so that when they fall back and they stumble back after taking a big meaty hand to the face, somebody always catches them. In this battle, I'm not too sure that's happening. I think these 2 players are just slapping each other. Although it looks like our Mongol is starting to take a significant lead in the kill count, 41 to 26. What happened to MbL all of a sudden that his defensive capabilities have just shat the bed? It was 22 to 26. There was a 4 kill difference. Now there's a 17 kill difference. And again, Hera's scouts are nothing special compared to MbL's scouts. Both with, or rather, sorry, they're actually worse. I am so sorry. They're actually worse right now. Because in Feudal Age, the Frank, all of their mounted units come with more HP. So that just makes this difference in kills just even more confusing and noticeable and pronounced. The fact that these scouts for our Frank are 9 HP tankier. Is it these skirmishers? Yeah, it's these skirmishers. Look at these kills. 17 kills on these. Hera's just kept these around for a million years, and he's going up to Castle Age. That being said, because he's going up to Castle Age, there's no more reinforcements. This guy up here is the last of us. And now Hera. Let's see how many kills are left. 12. So he's lost a few of the skirmishers. Emergency tower. You do not want to have to do that right before you click up to Castle Age, right before you place down a town center of your own. That is a very sour thing to have to do there for MbL. He is now down 18 kills. He's lost 2 more villagers than his opponent. So what started off as a pretty fantastic game here for MbL, getting those 4 villagers, I feel like Hera just put his foot down on the gas pedal of aggression and just took it to another level. Now he's 19 kills ahead. I mean, the lead is just growing and growing, and in 30 seconds, he's going to be in a castle age. He's getting a stable, huh? He's getting 3 stables. Okay, what do we think is going to pop out of here? Knights or Step Lancers? Knights or Step Lancers or something maybe even different. Maybe a Shalot Warrior. I know I'm going to catch hell for saying that. No, it's Step Lancers. Forget the Shalots. 5 Step Lancers are en route. Oh no. MbL is still 40 seconds away from Castle Age. And you know what I think it is? He's just taking these terrible engagements. He's on the low ground there. Okay, but he'll finally clean up these scout units. I don't think that Hera really cares too much. Hera happy to lead these guys on a chase while the skirmishers continue to rail against them. Kill lead still in favor of our Mongol, despite the fact that the Frank has cleared this up. And how will our Frank react? Immediately, 2 knights are on the way. 2 stables for him versus the 3 stables of the Frank. The Mongol, rather. Oh my goodness. Oh no, and now the Step Lancers are here. And there's more. He's getting husbandry as well. Army counts identical. Hera is down 6 villagers. So if MbL can hold on, if he can expand, if he can just keep it together for maybe 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes. I don't want to say 15, maybe 5 to 10 minutes. He should be in a pretty good position. Although right as I say that, his villager lead is now no longer. It is Hera who has more villagers now. And it is Hera who is here at the front of MbL's base. MbL's got a few idle villagers, garrisoning some more. That is not something you want to do. 14 Step Lancers versus 7 Knights. Now, Step Lancers are generally not great against heavier cavalry. The problem is MbL is taking really small engagements here against units that can stack behind one another. And Hera's just surrounding these units. And by the way, they have 1 range, which means that these knights, if they run away, I mean, look at this. Look at this. 7 of them, or 8 rather, are attacking a single knight. So even when he runs away, the knight, he can still get attacked. And that is just absolutely terrible. Oh no. Okay, Hera focusing on a stable. Why is MbL continuing to engage with these small clumps of units? And there's that perfect example of it. As the knight runs away, he gets chopped down from behind with the range. Another villager, another knight. I mean, what do you do against a unit like this that can attack one behind the other? There's literally 11 units attacking one. What the hell do you do? I guess you GG. Oh my god. MbL, who had such an amazing start to the game. Such an amazing opening, getting so many dead villagers. I mean, Hera had 24 knocked down to 20. That's what, 15 or so, 15 to 20% of his economy was gutted in the blink of an eye, and yet somehow managed to come back, overcome, but now equalize the villager lead. And look at the power of the Mongol Step Lancer. I mean, look at its HP. So in case you want to know how it got to 98, Step Lancers come with 60 HP. Then you add bloodlines here at the top right of our screen. That takes them from 60 to 80. And then on the base of 60, the Mongol Step Lancers get 30% more HP. So 60, 30% of that's 18. So 60, 20, and 18 gives you a 98 HP unit, which, again, not great against Knights, which for the Franks, even though they don't have bloodlines, come with 120 HP. The problem for our MbL is, again, just way too scattered, these engages. The archers from the Feudal Age attacking on a 5, not going to do too much against 2 pierce armor. But these guys, just look at this. This is literally a depiction of why Step Lancers are OP. You have 1 unit being attacked by, I'm going to ignore this guy here because he looks like he's on move command. 10 units are attacking 1 unit. And again, even though the base stats for a knight and a Step Lancer, the knight has a better attack, better base armor, and I think also attacks faster, 1.8 to 2. Yeah, so it attacks faster. But what the hell can you do? 10 against 1, and over here it was 10 against 1, and over here it was 8 against 1, and up here it was 6 or 4 against 1. MbL just took really bad engages, so the game snowballed, but not in a good direction for him. He started out so amazing, and then Hera's aggression here in Feudal Age just literally picked him apart piece by piece. It's like if you have a sweater and you tug on one little tiny string, and all of a sudden a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, half your sweater is gone, and it's just a bunch of random threads and stuff. That's exactly what happened to MbL here. It looked really good in the beginning, and then one extra unit died, 2 extra units died, a few more units died, and then I believe there was another engagement here, around here, where a few more units died, and he just could not capitalize on his amazing start. And I think we can all really identify with this, right? This is something that happens to all of us as we play this game. We think we have such an amazing start, and then all of a sudden, one thing happens, 2 things happen, and then we blink our eye, and all of a sudden, hey, what the hell are 11 Step Lancers doing in my base? And why the hell are my knights not here? And why are my knights all dead? Upgrades identical for both players. Let's take a look at the stats. Economies can't be that crazy different. But yeah, here we go. Look at that. Mongol Step Lancers, Frankish Step Lancers, Scouts, Frankish Scouts, which again, I do apologize. I've neglected to mention that they do come with 20% more HP, because the Mongols, the extra HP applies to 3 units. The Light Cav, the Hussars, which I guess are technically the same unit, and Step Lancers. The Franks, all of their cavalry get it, although they don't really get Step Lancers, so not exactly a big thing for them. Peak APM towards the middle of the game. Hera with his bonkers peak APM. I'm assuming if I'm going to click here, why don't we do that at the end of this game analysis? I'm going to click here. I suspect it's when he got all of those kills. Yeah, the economy is not too crazy difference, about 10% difference. No, I don't even know why I'm looking at conversions. But look at that. At the end of the day, 23 more kills, 10 more villager kills. MbL just fell apart. Yeah, he just melted. And really, there's nothing more to say. Hera picked the absolute perfect unit. Had he picked maybe a knight with no extra HP except for the bloodlines, then the knights would be one-on-one. That's fine. You can fight one-on-one. You can retreat one-on-one. But against a Step Lancer, that not only... Step Lancers can attack you 3 times. They can attack you as you approach them. They can attack you when you're face-to-face with them. And then if you're silly enough to run away, they can attack you as you run away because of their 1 range, which is just ridiculous. I'm just going to show you. There it is. Range 1 plus 0. I don't know why it's plus 0. Can't really upgrade that range. That would be pretty cool. But no, you can't do that against Step Lancers, and MbL unfortunately took that really bad fight. Let's click here. I want to see where this was. Okay, so it was right when he divided his armies into 2. Yeah, there was the left army, there was the right army, the eastern, the western flanks. But overall, what a pretty quick but pretty bonkers game here. And again, just so much drama happening in 30 minutes. MbL slaughtering villagers. Hera looked like he was on the ropes in the initial stages of the game, but then he came back with an absolute insane amount of Feudal Age aggression, got his butt up to castle first, and produced the Step Lancers, who ultimately took it for him. And with those OP, insanely broken, according to some people, Step Lancers, it is Hera who is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.